Hello, welcome to part 75 of this Airbnb clone Ruby on Rails series. And in this video, we'll focus on the profiles part, like showing the details and editing them. So let's go to our code, open controllers, profile controllers, and views, profiles, index. So first thing that I would like to change is we should not use index here because index is normally it should have two types of things. One is a list of thing, for example in this case profiles or list of profiles, and second is it should be read-only content, but here it won't be read-only. We will make changes, right? Like we will update these details and all those things. So we'll change it to edit. Okay, rename to edit .html.ab. We could have also used show, but actually not show, because show is only read only. We don't update content in that. We could have, but that's not the correct way. So what I would do is edit profiles, edit, and in our config routes, edit. So that's one. There's one more change I want to do. Instead of profiles, I wanted profile, and instead of resources, I wanted resource, because we don't want. Okay, let me show you the difference between these. Okay, Rails routes -c profiles. Now in this, we can see this edit path, but it does have an ID. Okay, why does it have an ID? Because so that we can reach a specific profile, like profile 1, profile 2, profile 3. Now why does Rails create this type of URL is because we have mentioned resources, which means there will be multiple types of profiles. Okay, so how do you differentiate between multiple types of anything? Simple, ID. Default case is ID, right? So in this case we want only one profile, right? We won't see any other user's profile. We'll just focus on our profile. So profile should be correct, and just to keep consistency, profile, and you'll see it will get changed. I'll have to use this profile. Now see, edit profile. Now it is not asking for ID because it knows there is only one type of profile. There is no multiple profiles. That's why. So now let's use this path. We will have to update all the paths also. So earlier we were using profiles path. Now we will use edit profile path. Let's check if the previous code is working or not. This new code is working or not. Accounts, we can go to accounts. The profile, it doesn't have an ID. This, everything is working good. I just want to check in reservations, are we using ID or we are using current user? I think we are using current user only, but I just want to be sure. Yes, we are using current user. So now that we have updated this, let's fetch the profile. So how can we get the profile? Profile is equals to current user dot profile. You could have used find by ID, those kind of things also, but the easiest and simplest solution is current user dot profile. Okay, because in our current user, which is a user model, so let's go to user model. You'll notice that we have a profile. So yeah, dot profile. So now let's go to edit. We'll need a form here similar to our add profile. So let's create a form. For that, what I'll do is, let me close this form with do f for form and this. First thing first, and in this I'll add class which should be this. And now we can copy all these divs and paste them. Basically we are replacing this outer div with form width. Okay, that's it. Yes, it worked. No, sorry, we have done this change, but let's check this. And it is working, it's exactly same. So now what we want is, first we want to show details here. So how can we show details? For that we can use something known as model, and we can mention our @profile model here. So if you know, this is an instance variable that we have created here, so we can definitely use this instance variable and create details and show details, right? Similar to what we have been doing till this point. But if we use this, what this form width will do is automatically match things with in our form correctly and replace this. But right now it won't work. Okay, right now it won't work. Let me, okay, it requires a profile path also, so let me, for now I'll just use root path. Later on we will replace this. Refresh. Okay, so right now we are not able to see any details, profile details. Why? Because all the details are part of this f, which is a form builder. So now we will have to use it correctly. f.label name, which is one of the attributes, and what I'll do is class, and I'll cut this. So basically we are replacing these divs and all, label and text area input, all those things, with something which is much more Rails friendly. We are using Rails form here. So similar to that, we'll use input also. For that, f.text field name followed by class. I'll ignore other fields for now. Okay, and copy this, and also do one thing, I'll add this directly to here. Let's refresh, and we can see name is visible. So we don't need last name because we only have name category. So what I'll do is, do we have a full span full, or span 3 is fine? Last name is removed. We don't need email address because email address is not part of our profile table, and at the same time I want to keep this a separate, because updating name is not a big deal, but updating email is, up to an extent, it's a big deal because all your communication changes, right? So I'll get rid of this email, we don't need this. Country I'll shift to bottom, and I'll use span 2 here. Okay, and street address 1, let's fix that. For that, what I'll do, let's copy this. Actually this would be much more better, and copy this, paste it here, paste it here. Address 1, address 1, address 2, address 2, and let's get rid of this address. Refresh, and we are able to say address 1, address 2. City, state, province and country, let's show that. So again same thing, but in this I'll use this one, city, we don't need this, state, country, and let's get rid of these. And this is region, we don't need that. Postal code we are not using, so let's get rid of this. Country is a selection in this, so we need a list of all the countries. So what I'll do is I'll Right now I won't focus on this. I'll just focus on the Rails thing, and later on I'll fix this. I have a gem in mind. We'll use that. Refresh, all the details are there. Now let's add a button. So for button, I'll directly go to our reviews, new, and in that we had this button. Let's copy this, paste it here, get rid of this, and instead of submit review, let's write save. Something like this looks good. 2 and 6. This is reduced, this is reduced. So it looks good to me. Now we can edit these details, but we need to save these also. So for example, if I write Rajat Talesra, we have to save this also. So if you remember in our reviews controller, if we go to reviews controller, there were two things that we had set up. One is the new action and second is create. New was responsible for showing the details, showing the form and everything, UI part, and create action was responsible for saving the details to our database, basically the API call. Similar to that, in this profiles controller, we will have edit and update. So edit is the one which is responsible for showing this UI, name, address, all those things, and update will be the one which will save this detail. So as soon as we click the save, it will call the update function. So let's set this up. Okay, I'll write raise for now here, and what we will do is we'll have to add a route also. So let's go to routes, update, and we will have to mention this update path in our form also. So for that, I'll use this Rails route -c profile path. We can use profile path. So let's go here. Now if you remember in start, I mentioned that for now I'm writing root path because I don't have to think anything about it. Now I will use the correct path, which is profile path. So if now I click on save button, and if the raise shows the terminal in our website, that means this is getting called correctly. So after that, we'll just save the information. Let's do this. Rajat Talesra has been typed, save, and it's not working. Refresh, Rajat Talesra, save. Okay, raise was working, so that means it has been connected with update. So let's do a couple of things. Let's first check at the profile. I think it should be nil. Yeah, it's a nil. Correct. So we'll have to set up the profile first. Let's check what all params are there. And in that we have our Rajat Talesra name, country, address, all the things are there. Okay, and this is part of profile. So let's filter it a bit. Params.require, and we can mention profile, which will match with this one. And it has been filtered a bit. Name, address 1, address 2, country. Great. So let's focus on the code now. Let's get rid of this. We need to set up this profile again. So again, similar to the, I think, couple of videos back, what we did in reviews, we will do something like this. We'll set up a before action in which we'll write set profile. We'll create this function, private set profile, and we'll use this code here. So what it means is that before calling any action, edit is an action, update is an action. So before calling any action, set profile function should get called, which means add the profile will be available. But this code is empty, so we first of all let's restrict this to only edit and update. Let's get rid of this empty, and in update what we'll do is we'll get the parameters first. Profile params, and similar to what we had done here, we'll use this params.require profile dot permit what all things are permitted here, so that we don't get anything wrong. Name, address 1, address 2, city, state, and country. We need all these things. So let's do this. We have this at that profile dot update, and we'll pass this profile params in this. Okay. Let me check something. Let me write Rajat and random. Now let's save. Let's use, what do we have at that profile, and it does have Rajat and random, but I want to check whether it has been saved to database also. Clear Rails console profile dot first, and it has been saved. So we can get this. If we will go to our reviews controller and use these details directly. If the profile was updated, we will do profile path here. Edit profile path. We'll keep this page basically and write review edit success, no profile updated. And if it fails, can still go to edit profile path and write failed to update profile. Let's try this. Profile was updated successfully. Let's decrease the size. You can see this message, random, all of these details are correctly visible. But I think there is one issue. It is refreshing. Let me confirm this. No, everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. So yeah, that's how we have set up the profile. Maybe we will add email and password also here. We'll separate this out, or should I keep it in this only? We'll see, it's fine. So that's it for now. In next video we will focus on email and password, and after that I think we'll be done with this user profile part. Then we'll move on to adding the properties, and for that property managing the dashboard. So okay, there is one more issue that I will fix, which is this gem. So let me check the time. I think 20 minutes is fine. That gem will require some more time. So in this video, in next video, we'll add a gem here so that country selection becomes easier. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Bye bye.